Hi, thanks for coming back to my channel. Um, I wanted to continue with the discussions that we were having in the previous videos. It occurred to me that there is an underlying theme or overarching analysis to be had from the conceptualizations that were taking place and how they culminate and build to this specific point in the exposition that we're having. Um, so, what I've noticed is that uh, each individual node or video that has previously been um, discussed has its ties and connection towards conscience and the human psyche, as well as its relationship and connection to the possibility of the divine in itself. Um, and so I wanted to make this third installment more of a conclusion to the ideas and presenting them as holistically as I would have been capable of doing in the type of expression that I would like to portray through this specific type of medium. Alright, so the topic for this discussion explicitly would be conscience and its connection to the divine. So the there is some literature about this specific type of phenomenon, and it has to do with the human psyche and how it is that human beings in general have a type of collective consciousness as well, that creates a higher order conceptualization of our existential beings in itself. So, what the first question says is, what is conscience and why does it feel different from thought? Okay, so what we looked at in the first video was the psychology of thought. So, thoughts emerge through our conscious realization of the world in itself. And that could be due to multiple mechanisms in our neurological and chemical structure. So these thoughts, they can be looked at in terms of uh, individual thought processes taking place in regards to a specific scenario or situation or a problem that needs to be solved. Um, and don't necessarily have to be related to previous thoughts, because just from your own existence you see that not all thoughts are coherent and create a linear projection of different thought processes that take place at different times. But what we see is that consciousness in itself, it has it more of an abstraction, essentially, how it evaluates the possibilities of these thoughts and how it is that you orient yourself within the world. You see that your consciousness or conscience is directly tied to your behavioral, psychological state and structure as well, and just the manner in which you go about solving specific problems and issues within your day-to-day being in itself. So conscience is different in that it's more of an abstraction, an extrapolation, or postulation that would be utilized in creating some form of systematic conceptualization of the environment in itself, and that interplays with different aspects of your neurochemistry and psychological being. So conscience as well could be an inner orientation towards truth. So the thing is that your conscience, it orients you. It gives you a moral code or a moral intuition about things in terms of your interpersonal relationships and environmental factors. And this tries to lead you towards the highest good. And what we see is that the highest good is an aim that spirals upward exponentially without any possible end in sight or any comprehensible end. And so conscience in itself is linked to that abstract representation of spiraling upwards towards the highest good, because it's a mechanism that's orienting you to behave in a way that allows for the most optimal and ideal outcome for your for your being, for the most optimal survival of yourself and offspring as well. So you use that type of abstraction in that specific type of circumstance as well. So what we can also look at is whether conscience is merely psychological or points beyond the individual. So, like I've mentioned before, earlier in the video, there is the conceptualization of the collective consciousness. We know that consciousness evolved along with human beings in parallel to our biological state as well. And, with this came along, increased capacity for abstraction, language, memory, computation, and all of the facets that are integral in each human psyche and consciousness in itself. So those are things that are common between individuals and people. But with the higher order expression that we were trying to conceptualize, we see that there could be some form of connection to individual in terms of its relationship and proportion to the whole in itself. So there's that aspect and how it ties the evolutionary to the spiritual and somewhat metaphysical. But these two concepts don't need to be like mutually exclusive to each other, because it can overlap depending on the perspective of the individual in question, and how it is that the community could organize itself towards this higher order good for the individual and the community, society, nation at large in itself. So that would be question 1.